Welcome, my beautiful souls. I am the Rambling Psychic, and today we are going to do Pisces reading for January 2026. And by the way, Pisces, January 2026, I got to get used to saying that, is opening up a karmic door for you. This is a month where your intuition is going to speak louder than logic. And what finds you now is not by chance, it's soul alignment. And this is why I feel like we've been working so hard in 2025 to like clear away the dust so that what wants to find us can. And speaking of that, many of you know I pre shuffle all the decks for quite a while. That's when I'm meditating on your sign. But also, what I felt was there's someone that's been feeling you energetically. And January, I feel like, is going to bring a connection that is going to feel familiar to you, comforting, and spiritually charged. Interesting. And I have to say, as I was pre shuffling, I kept getting one card kept flying out probably 3, 4 times. Same card. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but if we get it, I'll definitely let you know. So let's go to the cards and our guides, and so it begins. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Those intuitively guided, which are many of you now. And I feel like 2026, boy, I know a lot of you are really paying attention to your intuition now. And that's really how you want to go into a reading. Calm mind, calm intuition. Remember, you can ask your guides for signs of confirmation throughout the reading. Um, but honestly, you should feel it. It is a soul to soul reading. So I have quite a few decks out. I'll explain to you what we're doing. I'm going to bring the lid down. Let's put our crystals over. So we, of course, will have Mother Mary open up the reading with her beautiful words of wisdom. We are going to keep the judgment, your spiritual team, calling it to the present moment. That means there's about to be a rebirth. And I'm saying that because it didn't want to come up. But we're not going to take it yet. But we'll also use them. And then what I'm doing for January is something a little different. I'm going to break down love and money separately. It doesn't mean that they can't and probably won't read or will read together. You know what I mean? Like one is going to feed energy to the other. So we'll see. So for love, we're going to use the crystal vision and the light seers. For money, we're using the Gilded Tarot and the Universal Tarot. We're going to slide this over. We'll just keep it like that because we're going to start with love. But first, we're going to start with Mother Mary. All right. And even though everything's pre-shuffled, I do like to give them a shuffle with you here. And I'm excited to see who some of you are energetically aligned with. You know, and again, I was picking up that someone's already thinking of you. I mean, it doesn't mean you know them, but familiar energy is what I was getting. So I have to tell you, to me, that means soulmate. But let's see. Let's go to the cards. I mean, you know, my guides told me that, so I already know it's going to come out some way, somehow. Look at that. They all flipped around. We shall take them. We have sobriety. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. We have trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. And then we have caring. Heaven cares for me, and I keep my heart open to caring about myself, others, and the world. So sobriety. And for some, it can mean that you may be overdoing something that is, like in my mind's eye, what I'm seeing is like I have an issue and then I just drink a lot that night just because I don't want to think about it. And then I wake up and there is that issue. It's still there, but now I have a hangover. So now it's like, even worse than how it began. Because I'm not feeling like addiction type energy. I'm not going to leave it off the table. You'll know. Um, but then trust. I love that. Knowing that your prayers are being heard and they're being answered in their divine timing. And then caring. Don't leave yourself out of the equation. Make sure you're caring for yourself. If you don't care for yourself, then it makes it hard to care for others. All right. Let's bring in the major arcanas. By the way, these readings, well, they're about an hour. They've been about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours long. But I already planned that I was just going to let January be as long as it needed to be. All right. So the major arcanas, for anyone who's new, these are like bullet points, but I do leave them out throughout the whole reading. I feel like they give us some real valuable information. Oh, we got two. All right. Hello, Fool. Interesting how we saw judgment, where judgment, your spiritual team's calling you to the present moment, telling you there's about to be some type of rebirth, and then the Fool shows. It's like you're answering the call of your spirit guides. I find that kind of beautiful because I feel like that's what you're doing. The Fool is about a new beginning. Even if it's something old, it's new again. And that would mean that the vibration around it had to have lifted, let's say. Because again, even if it's old, it still is new again. This is also about taking a leap of faith. And, this is a great image for 2026 because 2025, the year of the hermit, right? That final ninth year, it was all about the clearing, right? Knowing what you wanted, laying groundwork. And now I feel like it may be action time. It may be time to take a leap. Look at that. The star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Nothing to fear here. Also, your neighbor, card of Aquarius. But look at that. And it's interesting because I'm noticing the little knapsack of the Fool. And I feel like that knapsack is carrying the Fool's dreams. All right. See if anything else wants to come out. She is looking over. So I kind of want to see what she's looking at. All right. The Tower. The Chariot. The Devil. Card of Capricorn. Devil does speak about temptation, and temptations. And it is interesting that Mother Mary also brought out addictions, or not addictions. What's the name of it? Sobriety. And I'm saying that because the devil's energy can be very alluring. You know what I mean? It can tempt you. And it probably has, because I feel like this could be the cause of the tower. But here's the thing, I don't feel like you're sitting here like, oh my God, a tower. Not at all. I feel like you're more into the fool's energy. You know, I feel like some of you, you had the realization in 2025 of truly what or who has been holding you down, holding you back. Because I feel like once you have that realization and you start putting the energy back into your dreams, well, the chariot represents unlimited potential. But it's your intentions that move this chariot. This isn't magic, right? My intentions tell it where to go. And being in the fool's energy, free and clear, like there is no limit. But this tower energy, I feel like it had to go. And again, some of you you may have broke like a karmic loop where, because, well, I was going to say because we're doing love first, but this is really for both. And I just feel like you've had the realization of what has been luring you in, but paying no dividends. You know what I mean? You've been paying the price. And I feel like my Pisces is done with that. You know, the devil can certainly cast delusions, make us feel stuck when it's just not the truth. Doesn't mean it doesn't take action. It usually does. But I feel like it's always worth it. You know, the fool, again, that new beginning, free thinking. There's really no limit on the fool. Okay, well, let's slide these up here. And we'll definitely know why they're all here, other than what I just said. But I just love that you have the star next to the fool. And I feel like, I wanted to see what the person in the star card was looking at, but they're looking at the tower. And that's why I don't really fear that tower. I feel like it's more you. Again, having realizations of just anything or anyone that's been holding you back. It's like you see it now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. All right. Let's bring in the light seers, and we're going to start with love. Love, love, love. I'm talking about love. By the way, just what I was picking up where felt like there is someone energetically, it feels like someone trying to manifest you, whether it be you or love. But if it's love, your name is written on it. All right, let's give him a cut. Let's see what's happening. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Feeling I'm about to do a lot of talking. And I probably already said this, but this type of reading, it's going to be long. It's interesting though, because the readings I've been doing, they were long, but to me, they feel like they're 20 minutes. All right. Pisces and love. I mean, come on. Pisces and love just go together. They just go together. Ace of Wands. I have a feeling that's the person. That's the person. Some of you may have been feeling like certain energy. And again, this is love right now. This will be money over here, but this is love right now. So this is the Ace of Wands, and it really means passion is being ignited. But it feels like she's thinking of someone. Looks like a womb. The flame. It's like something wants to be birthed. Well, love. We have the Nine of Wands. I feel like some of you are saying to yourselves, I deserve the highest form of love. And even the highest form of love can still have, moments of fighting or what have you, because humans are imperfect. And that's just the way it is, even if you truly love someone. But with what I'm feeling, if there are any issues, I feel like this is the type of relationship or love that would, they'd work it out. And the Nine of Wands, this is your reflection. This is your reflection, and I have a feeling it's a reflection over the things that you've been drawn to, but have overcome. Because the Nine of Wands is about you looking back, but with a sense of pride. Like it's telling you how much you have grown. Even the image itself, like this person is busting out of their clothes, and that is their spiritual muscles. Everyone behind him is an adventure, an experience, something they've overcome. And this truly, I call this person my spirit warrior because they've taken that wisdom just like the Fool, and they're leaving the rest behind. It feels to me like it's you knowing yourself. It's you knowing what you deserve and what you don't deserve. And listen, that is an important component. It's interesting because that nine feels singular, but she's like so close to that Ace of Wands. Look at that, another nine. Now we have the Nine of Cups, inner harmony, but also fulfillment of wishes. It's funny because I feel like you may have the inner harmony and someone else's wishes, though it may also be yours, is being granted. I do feel like this is you and them. And I love that it's both showing as nines because I feel like this means that we're singular. You know what I mean? Like we're not connected. And I'm not talking about the two of you. I'm talking about like because I feel like in the Fool's energy, you cut ties with, well, let's just say lower vibrational energy, especially if you've been working so hard. And that's really what the Nine of Wands is, right? It is that spirit warrior energy. But listen, once you're in that energy, in a way, I feel like you don't have to worry because things are much clearer. Even you, it's like good luck to those who try to lure you in with false expectations. I don't think they can do it anymore. Pretty sure they can't. I can't guarantee that, but I'm pretty sure. And then the Nine of Cups over here, I feel like is the one who's been thinking about you. And what are they doing in the Nine of Cups? They want a dream fulfilled. And what do you have? The dream card, the Star. Okay. And it's like this Ace of Wands is igniting you. It's igniting the passion within you. So this may be something that you feel before it actually comes in. And I don't know yet if you know each other. We have the Ten of Wands. And, it kind of makes sense because it's coming under the Tower. However, it's also going under the Chariot. And I just want to show you this image because I really love it. I feel like it really explains the Ten of Wands. Because often I feel like subconsciously I'm wishing for a tower where there is the tower. And if you just look at this woman, there's a path that she just came down. And it was a mountaintop she was on. And I do feel like it was her mountaintop, probably with someone else. But there's nothing left. It's barren. So she left that mountaintop with what she could carry. Because she's learning the material things, I can replace those. My dignity, my happiness, my joy, not up here anymore. So she's heading to a new mountaintop. She may not know where it's at yet, but she's being bold. She's being bold anyway. I've done that a few times in my life where I've left a relationship and I've just taken what I could carry. Number one, because, well, I just did. But I do have to say, everything I left behind, I have recouped. Not that stuff, but with new stuff and stuff that I could now call my own. Though I also, I feel like part of the clearing is understanding that even the material things don't hold the value that we give them. Not like your inner harmony, like that is valuable. Money can't buy that. Well, some say, yeah, I can. Okay, we had a card flip around. The Queen of Cups. And look what she's doing. She's connecting to above. She's got that key around her neck. And I can't help it, but I feel that key opens up the next door. But she's energetically connecting. And that makes sense because she's mirroring the Ace of Wands. Just like I felt your guides were going to introduce this. For some, it may be because, hopefully you have recovered, let's say, from whatever you were dealing with. But if you haven't, I feel like your guides are saying, still move forward. Like try to move forward. Because it feels like, well, maybe the unbelievable is really believable. I love this queen, which is you, male or female, by the way, mirroring this Ace of Wands. Because she's picking it up. Okay. Or Queen of Wands, I'm sorry. By the way, I do feel like it's you, male or female, but it can be Cancer. We have Cancer right there, or Scorpio. But I do feel like it's you, to be honest. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. Let me say that the other way. The Queen of Cups, and then the King of Cups. And what are they both mirroring? The Ace of Wands. Now, I feel like the King of Cups showed, because this is talking about like-minded energy. You know, you're certainly not wishing for lower vibrational energy, because now I feel like lessons have taught you the difference. And both of them have their eyes closed, like they're both meditating, as does the Ace of Wands. Like they all have their eyes closed. Telepathically, maybe. Oh, well, hello, lovers. Hello, lovers. Head over heart decision. It is a card of Gemini. But it is a head over heart decision. And it's interesting because there feels like there's two energies here. Let's just say the king has wishes, but so do you. Now I feel like you are together. You know, when you see the lovers, know that there's going to be some type of chemistry. And, you know, this is why our guides ask us to clear old energy. Because if we drag yesterday's news into today, then we may give this person a bad rap before they've even opened their mouth, or vice versa. You know, because both probably had to climb down that mountain. But both wanted to, by the way. And you know, I don't feel like there was anything easy about it. But at the same time, I feel like, what did I gain? I gained freedom. Freedom of my mind. Freedom of what I want to do. And even if I'm just beginning, I feel like I'm believing in myself. And then whatever opens up, well, I feel like it would have to be good. So the lover shows up, and it's mirroring your wishes. You know, the lovers to me is chemistry that's really off the charts. And that Ace of Wands opening up this reading. Wow. Passion, inspiration, you know, even direction. But it definitely means action. You know, it's like the inspiration or the passion you feel, and then there will be action steps to follow, but only as the Fool. So that means you just merely need to take one step forward. If you choose. If you choose, you know, your free will. But I do love that the king and queen are connected. And I'm not even thinking about, you know, that they're cups. I'm thinking that they're like-minded. We have two swords, interesting. And I have to say, two swords mirroring the tower. We want to look at that for a second. But I guess this kind of explains it, the Five of Swords. So why did you leave that mountaintop? Or some type of toxicity lived there. And it doesn't always mean, oh my gosh, my screen just went so dark. It doesn't always mean like, you know, bad people. Can be. But the energy, your energy, their energy, not meshing anymore. You may be, and that may be why this Ace of Wands opened up the reading again, this feeling. Maybe I felt stuck for quite a while. And maybe I had to realize that it really is an illusion. And it's hard to make change. I get it. But if we do it step by step, it's easier. So it is showing who lived on that mountaintop with you. And that it did carry toxic energy, toxic to you. And it is showing that it has a little effect in your future. Or let me put it a different way. It has a little effect in your thought system. Because twos, I feel like you're either being asked a question, but this is wearing a blindfold. And maybe it's taken a while to face that fact, to know that I had to leave that mountaintop. There was nothing left. Not only is there nothing left, but it feels like it wasn't good for you. It didn't feel good for your energy. Here's our familiar energy. I love it when I'm pre-shuffling and I pick up certain information and then I see it in the actual reading. I don't know why. It doesn't really surprise me. It just makes me love reading even more. All right. This is really to the point, I have to say. The two swords, it does have to be dealt with. But it's not the Eight of Swords. And it's telling you why, right? Somebody's energy has affected, or maybe still is affecting your thought system. Don't give them that power. And don't assume that the next person will be like them. What did I learn here? I learned what toxicity looks like. Well, hello, Knight of Pentacles, my favorite knight. Look at that. He's got like a lot of pentacles. He's dropping off. Looks like Santa Claus. A pentacle for you, a pentacle for you. Knight of Pentacles, guardian angel energy. Definitely a special guide. This knight tells you, I come at the right time. I have a gift. And it's this pentacle. And this pentacle can truly enhance your life. It can turn your life around. And for some, it can be the way. Like, I know what I want to do, but how do I do it? Knight's like, okay, I think you're calling for me. So when this knight comes in, that means that something is coming into your physical world. And I love this image because I feel like, and it keeps coming. It just feels like blessing after blessing. But these blessings, you earned them. That's the thing. You earned them. And this knight's saying, I don't come in until the timing is right. Well, I feel like leaving that mountaintop, that was the right timing. That is what the knight is looking for. And by the way, he's marrying this king. And again, male or female, I know that we have men who watch, women who watch, same-sex couples who watch. So the best thing to do is just find yourself in a reading. You know what I mean? And like, love is love. And there are different vibrations of love. I feel like the lower vibrations of love. Have you felt the higher vibrations of love yet? Because this night, trust me when I say, this night, it feels like blessings. But every time I say that, I hear, but well earned. All right, so on the bottom of the deck, King of Wands says, King might be going bye-bye. King might be going bye-bye. Four cups. Okay, well, that makes sense. Discontentment, boredom in your emotional world. Okay, all of a sudden, get excited. I need to bring my chair up closer. Um, I'm not excited that the Knight of Wands, by the way, can be fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. And I really mean that. Because I feel like what this is saying, because we have the Four of Cups underneath that, I feel like someone wasn't happy in love and secretly wishing for better love. Well, what if I told you that that prayer was heard? And I feel like this king lived on that mountaintop with you, king or queen. And this is normally a king of action, but because you were the one who's discontent in in your emotional world, then they can't be given much. They can't be showing you much action. If anything, they're showing you their toxic side. But I don't want to get hung up on that because I feel like you know that, and you moved on from that, or you are moving on from that. I know not everyone has climbed down that mountain yet, but I feel like you will. Well, if you choose. All right, let's bring in the crystal vision. Give them a cut. And we'll go over this reading, go a little deeper. The lover's sitting right next to the two swords, and the lover's meaning ahead of a hard decision. That is going to be part of it for some. But, what I want to say is try. Try not to let fear stop you. And one of the best things you can do is allow yourself to be in the fool's energy. And the fool is not thinking like, okay, where is this path going to end? The fool is enjoying the journey, step by step. Look, it just turned itself around. Make sure my deck's in the upright. It is the 10 of swords. And look what happens when you turn this 10 around. All the swords fall out of your back. Could have been a karmic loop. Giving someone opportunity over and over. It is matching the other 10, which is 10 of wands. But this is you saying no more. This is you allowing those daggers to fall out of your back. Can it be that easy? Well, honestly, sometimes meeting someone new can be the easiest way to get over someone old, especially when you notice the difference in their energy. And boy, are you going to notice the difference. Well, hello, magician. And we have opened up the year of the magician. That's what these readings are. We are opening up the year of the magician. What do we want to manifest? How do I love that this is coming over the Nine of Wands, my spirit warrior? The reflection, but really reflecting on your growth. And look at the magician between the lovers and the star. And the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like is saying, you turned that 10 around, and that is a sign for me also. Now I'm going to start reaching you, like in your intuition. I'm going to start igniting maybe your heart chakra, getting you ready. Ten of Wands coming over the Tower, the Nine of Cups, and the Two of Cups, or the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Swords under that. Interesting, because this makes me wonder, because we have like-minded energy, and our guide said that you were going to be meeting energy that felt very familiar to you. I wouldn't be surprised if both of you had similar experiences. Both of you have left your mountaintops. And I feel like this is even before you know of the other. And I like that because I'm not leaving for another. I'm leaving because I'm no longer willing to accept daggers in my back, uncertainty, no action. And they feel like they have also gone through, again, similar energy. You know, the one thing Spirit also said, though, this energy was going to be very comforting to you. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like, I definitely feel like it's a soulmate. And this definitely feels like a romantic soulmate because I feel like this is the type of soulmate that each help heal the other. You know, those last broken little pieces. And it may just be through conversation and knowing each other's plight. I know what you're talking about. I've been there. The Two of Pentacles. It's funny because Spirit also said that what finds you now is not by chance. It's soul aligned. So, and the only reason I'm saying that now is because the Two of Pentacles, it's putting the ball in your court. You know, I feel like it couldn't have been too long ago where you did leave that mountaintop. And, you know, you may have had a whole plan in your mind, like, I'm going to let myself heal. I'm not going to fall in love. And by the way, you have free will, so you can say no. And that's why the ball is put in your court. Six of Swords over the Queen. So, this toxicity, she left it. We know that. But she also left the toxic energy behind. The Unknown card over the King of Cups. And then the Queen of Swords over the Lovers. All right, let's talk about this for a second, and then we'll get the rest of the cards. So, first of all, the Six of Swords is mirroring the reversal of the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is where you're taking all the daggers in your back over and over again. It is a repeat pattern. And it can be from one person or it can be people your whole life. And if that's the case, this is probably about learning how to claim your own power. Like, for some, I feel like you're no longer listening to just those who just make no sense. I love the Queen of Swords over the Lovers because I feel like this speaks about your authentic self. And I feel like that's important. Like, go in it as you. Don't wear any mask. Don't pretend to be anyone that you're not, because listen, if you're going to fall in love, then you want them to know who you are and you want to know who they are. Queen of Swords to me is truth. And these little butterflies, boy, do I feel like there's someone special helping to bring this together. The unknown card, I'm not really surprised because I already felt that this is not about like where does this journey end up. I mean, honestly, I don't know how well, if we focus on this, I feel like this is for the rest of your lives, but it's still about enjoying the journey. Excuse me one second. Okay, I'm back. I was just gone a second. All right, let's keep going. Hello, sun. Hello, illuminator. Brand new day. The sun is shining. There's no clouds in the sky. Everything is clear. This to me is playful energy. Um, the sun to me is also, how do I say this? Like, I don't want to say your protector, but I feel like what it does is it helps illuminate your choices. Like if you have a question, should I or shouldn't I? The sun helps illuminate it. And the sun is also a great reminder of anything that's done in the dark will come to the light. So I feel like what it's saying is don't put worry there because it is coming over the Two of Swords. Like, don't put worry where worry doesn't need to be. And granted, I feel like if there's worry, it is because there's someone's energy that is still in my mind, in my thought system. But the sun, I feel like it's just saying you did the right thing. You made the right move. Um, and there feels like there's no restrictions here. Oh, the beautiful sunflowers. Ruler of Leo, by the way. The Three of Swords over the Five of Swords. The King of Pentacles over the Knight of Pentacles. Well, hello, Ace of Pentacles. So literally, the Knight is answering or showing you what it promised. And then the Hierophant, card Taurus, and that may be for some. But can I tell you, this is about your morals. This is about your faith. And this is living your life according to your morals and faith. If it was reversed, I would worry. But it's not. And that is what ushers in the Ace of Pentacles. You know your worth. How you can also look at this to make it just a little easier is remember that Earth is a classroom and that we're all the fool. And in any new situation, we will be the fool again. And the fool always clears the past by understanding what I can understand and letting go of the rest. I mean, literally, it's showing this connection coming together. And everywhere there's a difficult card, it's connected to the Tower or what wasn't good for you anyway. Listen, I'm not going to say that you're not going to still have a little pain in your heart. But again, I just feel like this is the type of energy where the two of you will help each other, probably in ways that you can't even imagine yet. And I feel like this is not about going quickly, because this is about learning to enjoy the journey step by step, letting things unfold naturally. You know what I mean? Like not posing my, what do I want to say? Like before I go on a date with you, I have to know where this is going. Well, that's impossible. And because I do feel like you are both each other's healer soulmates, and probably for the rest of your lives. I mean, when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, I don't feel like it's just something for a moment, especially as it relates to love. I feel like it's for the rest of your life. I feel like this queen has found her key and her king, and the king has found his king, her queen, his king. What's wrong in my mouth? The king has found his queen. Or king. Maybe that's why I kept saying that. I often feel like the Hierophant is blessing a situation. Remember, it is a 5, though. So it did want you to question the morals. And it doesn't even have to be your morals, it could be who you're with. Did they match yours? Did you have the same ultimate goals in mind? How beautiful that the Ace of Pentacles, by the way, I often say that the Ace of Pentacles comes with roots, which means that it can truly take root. When you see any ace, think of it like a seed. And if you nurture the seed, then it will just grow and blossom. If you ignore the seed, it'll just dry up and die. But how beautiful the sun is nurturing the seed. Okay. Last but not least, let's bring in the romance angels and then we'll move into money. You know, I'm thinking to myself, am I making the readings too long by doing this? But I really did want to break it down for you, to be honest. Finances and career, which is what we're moving to next. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Mm, I could see that, you know, but it kind of reminds me of a 5. Love yourself first. Your self respect makes you more romantically attractive. And let's see if anything else wants. Okay, that didn't take long. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Looks like they're up in the clouds. Makes me feel past lives. But doesn't have to be past lives. And then getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Beautiful. Someone from your past is returning to your life. That is probably why I was picking up familiar energy. But then again, I do often feel that this is past lives. but it could be past lives and this life. Remember, I definitely know your soulmates. And because you're soulmates, you've known each other for eternity. Okay. Thank you, love. Let's go to money and career. We're going to keep the major arcanas out because they mean they're for both your love and money. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper, but we're going to use the Gilded Tarot. I'm sorry, the Universal Tarot to do the main spread. So, money and career. Remember, this is the month where your intuition speaks louder than logic. And what finds you now, love, yes, but also in your creative house, it's soul aligned. Some of you have been working on businesses, laying groundwork. Some of you have been working on your spirituality. And I feel like it's all paying off. All right. Excuse me. Six of Swords. Eight of Cups. Interesting. Two energies of movement. It's interesting because it almost feels like we are moving, like this is bringing love into this reading also. And I had a feeling it would. But the reason I'm saying that is I feel you feel much lighter in your decisions. Like you're much clearer about the direction you want to take. I feel like some of you, you know what works and what doesn't work now. And then we move into the Eight of Cups. And I feel like for some of you, it's like you're saying your emotional house has really affected maybe your creative ideas. But eight is about a new beginning. It does feel like something emotional and toxic. So I feel like whoever you were dealing with feels like they didn't just affect love, they affected your money also. But then again, this is freedom. This is you claiming freedom. This is you heading towards the Nine of Cups, that inner harmony and fulfillment of wishes. Some of you may have left a job. You just might have had enough. There could have been a lot of issues. I definitely feel like you were dealing with something. Um, and I feel for some of you, I definitely feel that energy of like, I just had enough. I had enough. It's almost like they didn't really give you a choice. We have the Page. I feel like, okay, so the Page of Cups, I feel like you had to choose yourself. You had to choose yourself. The Fool. The Death card. Endings. But remember, when you see the Death card, that means another door is opening. I definitely feel there's movement here, like away from one energy and a new energy is opening up. I definitely feel some of you are now choosing yourself, choosing your wishes, your goals, And I feel like you're putting action behind them. I like that the death card is mirroring the Six of Swords because remember, a Six of Swords means what are you leaving? You're leaving the Five of Swords. That toxic energy wasn't good for you, anyways. And it feels like for many of you, it affected you on an emotional level. But death card means you're not taking it anymore. You're closing that door and you're jumping into the Fool's energy. It's truly like you are listening to your intuition. Got the Five of Wands under the Six of Swords. So there's drama. There's drama. And I'm sure you were pulled into it until you no longer were. Five, change. I see change everywhere. But I also see the Fool looking at the Page of Cups, and it makes me feel like the Fool is saying, I choose me. I choose me. Choose what I know, what I want to do. I'm clearing the clutter, the noise. I'm finding emotional balance. The Five of Pentacles, that's kind of like a tower. Two fives back to back, and two changes. Some of you could have lost a job. But even if that is the case, I kind of feel like you're being like spiritually set up for something new. Or it's saying to you, trust your abilities. Trust what you know. And even if you're doing something new, you don't need to know everything because this is a learning journey. So as you go through it, you'll continue to learn and grow. I mean, the Five of Pentacles has the Eight of Cups above it, so that's you walking away from it. The drama has you in the Six of Swords above it. That's you also leaving it. So look what you're leaving in the past. That's perfect. Like, I don't think you guys could ask for anything more. And it's not even what they're asking for. Their job is to help you fulfill your soul's seeds of intentions. Some of them pre planted, some are being planted right now. There's that Nine of Wands again. Beautiful. Four of Cups. Seven of Cups. It's like you're being given an opportunity here. Hierophant underneath on the bottom. Look at these keys. I have to feel these are the keys to your kingdom. Seven of Swords underneath that. Wow. Okay. Excuse me. I feel like some of you just been on a journey understanding or really learning about yourself and all that you really do have to offer the world. But I feel like it had to come with you believing in yourself first and foremost. And that's where I feel like I find you, like really starting to believe in oneself. This Four of Cups, we're talking money here. So this means a cup is coming in, which feels like an offer because it's sitting right next to the Seven of Cups. There could be quite a few offers. For some of you, you're good at what you do. And I could see other people being like, oh, let's give Pisces the job. I would say if you are looking for a new job, put those resumes out there. Put that word of mouth out there because I feel like you're going to have options. I definitely know some of you are starting your own thing. And I love that I'm feeling that you feel balanced, at least as it relates to your career, because that's what we're talking about right now. You know, this reflection that you've done, which is exactly what 2025 was asking for. And that tower that the Nine of Wands is mirroring, I feel like, yes, sometimes the tower is given to us, but I also feel you used a tower because I see you, like, again, it just feels like no more. Okay, let's bring out the Gilded Tarot. But I feel like there are going to be options. I want to say with the Four of Cups here, be proactive. You know what I mean? Like help the situation by maybe again putting like your word of mouth, like, hey, I'm looking for a new job, or trusting within your own abilities if you're looking to start something. And some of you, I feel like that's kind of where you're at. Like, which direction do I go? I would say follow the passion, like okay, what you feel passionate about. That just messed up all my cards. Follow the passion. Because when you follow your passion, even if you don't know 100% know what that means yet, well, okay, what I feel like is your guides are going to pique your interest in different ways. And it's not that you have to say yes to everything, but I feel like you get the option of like picking and choosing. And some of you, I definitely feel like you're starting a business. And listen, I feel like you gave everything you could to a job. Um, but I don't feel you're happy. Well, I shouldn't say that because I feel like when these changes, let's just say, happen, for a moment it could be a little wobbly, but I feel very quickly, especially if you are, again, choosing yourself and whatever that may mean for you. Remember, 8 is also about a new beginning. It's also the number of infinity. So some of you, like there's talents that you have that you've always had. And sometimes you don't know that until you start really exploring it. It's like I remember the first time I picked up a paintbrush. Um, I loved it, but I was horrible. But then I just kept getting pulled to it. Matter of fact, not in this house, but a place that I used to live, I had one room that was just full of paintings that I did and drawings. And I'm not saying I'm a great painter. I'm just saying it definitely helped soothe me. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Don't freak out about that though. We have the 7 of Cups over the 8 of Cups. We have the 2 of Swords over the Tower and the Page of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords back over the Fool and the Chariot. And then we have the 5 of Wands. Wow. Over the Death card and the Devil. 5 of Wands right here also. you know what I feel like some are saying? Took me a while to make this decision because it meant that, you know, I might be losing some money or my money's going to go back down or my money's going to go down. But having said that, I feel like you'll recoup that 10 of Pentacles just in a different way. Well, really, you're going to recoup the 9 of Pentacles. And then the 10 of Pentacles will probably be with another. Some of you, this could be, you know, like a separation or a divorce or, um, but then in the same breath as I say that, I feel like if that's the case, then I feel like I may have put my dreams on a back burner. And this is anything but putting your dreams on the back burner now. Okay. Some of you, I feel like you're very good with communication, speaking, helping others find emotional clarity, maybe even dealing with drama. Like, I feel like for some, like you're the light. You're the light for someone. Like you're the light in the darkness. Interesting. You are the light in that. Well, that reminds me of the Hermit who made his way back out again. All right, we have the 9 of Swords, which I totally get. Right, this is worry, but the meaning of the card is unnecessary worry. But I get it, right? Because this feels like a pretty big life change. You know, Pisces, I feel like you're changing your life, but you're changing it for the better. And change isn't easy. And I feel like that, for some of you, that's what you're going through right now. Did I do the right thing? That type of thing. Well, look who comes out next. The Knight of Pentacles. So did I do the right thing? The answer is yes. Now, that's only for those of you who are called to that. Some of you, I'm telling you, you're starting businesses. And 2025 may have been about laying the groundwork, doing the research, and now you may be bringing it to fruition. You know, the star, hope your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, not just about love, it's life. Knight of Pentacles is saying, let go of that worry. It won't get you anywhere because that's unnecessary worry. And that means sometimes it means that we're worrying about things that we can't control anyway. But over here, you're in complete control. We have the King of Swords. I'll be honest though, came in reverse. I don't know why I just said I'll be honest. And then we have the Chariot. And I'm going to try to get one more out so I can see what mirrors that 9 of Swords. I love the Chariots mirroring the Chariot with the Fool in between. Unlimited potential. Some of you may be collaborating with another. And you may see things start to truly soar. You know, where there was once blockages, it feels like now it's open. Where there was once fear, it feels like now there is clarity. Again, many of you are choosing yourself. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I mean that as like I'm bringing my goals, my gifts to the forefront. Some of you, I feel like, how did you learn such great communication? Because you dealt with someone who had the opposite. So in a way, I feel like some of you are taking those lessons of yesteryear and kind of turning them into your blessing. We have the Three of Swords under the Five of Wands over the Six of Cups. We have the Eight of Wands. What I think about, I bring about. This reminds me of the law of attraction. And then we have the Page of Swords. It's so funny. All of a sudden, I feel like this page is writing. Like, the first thing I felt was like I'm writing a newspaper column. Um, but what am I writing? Am I writing news? Am I writing like how to? I feel like the potentials are unlimited. Um, Communication. Okay, well, let's come back to that because I just realized we have the Three of Swords mirroring the Nine of Swords. So this is what we want to let go of. Why would you be worried about a broken heart as it relates to money? Well, I don't feel like it's a broken heart. I feel like you just want things to go well. Your the Knight of Pentacles is going to help that mission. But you're going to help it too by choosing you. Say to yourself, I possess unlimited potential. I may have to start at the beginning, but just the step alone gets everything else rolling. Some of you, I feel like you may be buying a car. It may have been something that had come between you and like finding a good job. And this Knight of Pentacles, again, comes at the right time. So I feel like if it's meant to be, then it will be. And I kind of love the Eight of Wands connected right to the Knight of Pentacles. It's like your guardian angel is like listening to those dreams and then manifesting them. If they're right for you. If they're right for you. This knight's not just going to like, oh, I want this low vibrational energy. Well, unless it's a lesson. That's not what this knight wants to do. It wants to enhance your world. It wants to make it better. And for some of you, unbelievably, because you don't even know the potential you have within you. And I feel like that's what your guides want you to know, whichever decision, whatever choice you decide to go, because the Fool is free to make whatever choices the Fool wants to make. And the Fool really does have belief that my spiritual team is walking beside me. So they will help illuminate my steps. And I feel like here it's just saying, choose you. Choose your gifts. Choose what you know and what you want to know more about. Like, let your interest or what piques your interest, follow that. And if you follow it and you're like, like, let me give you an example. Like, I really would love to learn, like planet alignment and all that. And I tried, but I can't keep my mind focused on it. So then I moved to numerology and it just pulled me in. You know what I mean? So even though I would love to come to you and be like, oh, this is trining this and this, and sometimes I know some, but I wanted to become like the master teacher. That's the Virgo in me. But my mind just couldn't. It's like, nope, nope, I had to leave that to someone else. And so I moved on. And the only reason I'm speaking about this is what I feel for you. Like, okay, so your interest is going to be piqued. One thing, maybe, but then something else, yeah. Yeah. So, unlimited potential. I feel like you guys are just saying, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? This is a time to choose yourself. I feel like this is a time where options are going to show. For some of you, it'll be job opportunities, but also make sure you're being proactive. This Ten of Pentacles in reverse, some would be like, oh, that's terrible. But I don't feel like it's terrible. Yes, I may have to accept less money for right now, but I feel like that'll just be for right now. And this could have been other people having control over my money. And now you have control. And how beautiful that your guardian angel came in your love life and your money and career. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. All right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it there because otherwise it's going to be ridiculously long. I don't know how far we're into it, but um, just be free to be you in all areas. Like, be you. No apologies for it. Be bold, but understanding being bold doesn't always mean like I have to like slay something. Being bold just means you're willing to take a step. And it's like all the angels are like, yes, she took that step. He took that step. And you don't have to try to control it. Let it flow. Put those seeds out there because they're being heard. Or let's say your wishes. They're being heard. It's like your team is directly connected to it. All right. I'm going to let that be. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Um Happy January. Happy New Year. We made it. We made it. And how do I love that you got the magician in where you got in your love sector? But that doesn't matter. Like, know what the magician means, right? The manifester. But the magician is also the fool's greatest mentor. Teaches the fool that you already have all the tools you need to be successful. They're within you. They're within you. I love you. I thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.